Thank you for tuning into the channel. I hope you're doing well. We're going to be discussing all of the facts and figures when it comes to the Phoenix metro real estate market. And the numbers are going to shock you. Inventory through the roof. Prices are tanking. What's next? We'll be discussing that. Stick around to the end. You don't want to miss any of this information.
Let's start off with new listings. In April, there were 9,834. In the previous month, there were 10,059. And last year, this time, there were 5,841.
Wow, we were up big time from last year.
Yeah, almost doubled.
Should these higher numbers of new listings scare anybody? I don't know that real estate facts and figures have ever scared anybody, but it's definitely time for everybody, buyers and sellers that is, to pay attention. Sellers, you need to know that now's the time to keep your property in tip-top shape. You have a lot of competition. Buyers, it's a great time for you to run numbers, unlock some doors, and should you find that house that you want to call your home, let's put together a very competitive offer, knowing that with this amount of new listings on the market, anything's possible. Why not swing for the fences?
Active listings. In April, there were 26,250. The previous month was 25,212. And last year, this time, there were 21,193. And currently in May, there are over 27,000, which is the most we've had in 10 years. I think the last time we've been that high is 2014.
No shortage of homes for sale here.
You hear that, buyers?
Exactly, Jennifer. Buyers, are you paying attention? There's so many houses for sale. It would be a shame if you didn't get out there and open a few doors. Look at some properties. One unequivocally will be your dream home. There's no pressure to purchase one, but with this many houses on the market, sellers know that they're going to have to be open-minded when it comes to negotiating contracts. They want to put their house under contract and eventually sell them. Buyers, what a great time to see where you are, speaking to a lender, buying power-wise, and then let's unlock some doors. Look at some backyards. We can't actually jump in the pools. Well, with permission we could if there's a pool. I think I'm going off track, but I think you know what I'm saying. Why not go out and see what's what? And if you see something that you absolutely love, let's put an offer in on it. Let's see what happens. There's nothing wrong with swinging for the fences. It's the American way. We're here to protect you, guide you through the process, and you're not going to move forward, sign anything until you're comfortable with what's going on within that purchase contract. And I can go on and on. Believe me, you can tell from this video, I can talk. I also know real estate. So there's a lot of steps before you're actually handed the keys, the purchase contract, the inspection, the appraisal. Every step of the way we'll explain that to you. But my point, and I'm trying to make it, is when there's this many houses for sale, why not get out there, see what's what? Because when the market shifts, you certainly don't want to be in the position to say there's only one front row concert ticket and you have to have it. Right now, the stadium's empty and they can't give the concert tickets away. Well, it might not be that bad, but again, I think you get the point. It's just a good time for buyers to get out there, and it's also a great time for sellers to put their properties in the best light so buyers come around and want to submit an offer. That's how real estate goes, and the wheels on the bus go round and round.
Up next, closed listings. In April, there were 6,884. In the previous month were 6,224, and last year this time there were 6,054 closed listings.
I love numbers, especially when they pertain to real estate. Let's take a closer look at closed listings. We can see by the numbers we're up about 800 closed homes from last year. The problem with that is closed listings aren't keeping up with new listings. Therefore, stockpile of inventory. It's piling up. And the only way to really solve that problem is to sell more houses. And how sellers do that? In my humble professional opinion, use the 3 Ps: price, product, and promotion. If you don't properly promote your property, certainly nobody's going to take the tour of it. And if you don't have that property in tip-top shape, when they take a tour of it, they're probably not going to be interested. And then it's going to come down to the almighty price, which is always negotiable. But again, when we're talking about closed listings, right now, we're closing properties. It's just that more are being added to the market. If you're looking for your dream home, perhaps an investment property or a second home here in the Valley of the Sun, then our new mobile app is for you. It's fast, it's private, it's accurate. Best of all, it's free. Go ahead, give it a try.
Here comes the crowd favorite and shocker. Average sales price. In April, it was $598,446, and the previous month it was $636,844.
Holy price drop.
Yes, and last year this time it was $608,369.
This is the part in the video where I ask both buyers and sellers to click subscribe. It helps the channel grow. But seriously, this is actually the part in the video. No, go ahead, subscribe. That's pretty cool. But this is the part in the video where I go over average sales price. And both buyers and sellers are focused like a laser on what's happening because it's a pretty big part of the buying process. The price. Well, you can see by the numbers, we're definitely, not we as in you and I, but the prices of homes in the Valley of the Sun have definitely taken a beating. So, buyers, again, when prices are down and inventory is up, what are you waiting for? Sellers, I don't think that you're in bad condition or bad shape, as it were, or maybe both. The fact of the matter is that still people are moving here. This is a great place to live, to call home, to have an investment property, or both. But when prices start to tank and inventory starts to rise, well, buyers, that's when you should be doing what I've been saying you need to do. Get out there and find your dream home and or investment property, perhaps both. If the data within this Phoenix real estate market update video, or any others for that matter, isn't clear, please reach out to me. I'd be honored to answer your questions. That's what this channel is about, helping you learn the facts and figures when it comes to most anything Arizona, especially real estate.
Sold to list price ratio. In April, it was 97.6%. The previous month, it was the same, 97.6%. And last year, this time, it was 97.8%.
Hey, Jen, what is sold to list price ratio?
Well, if you get 100%, that means you got your full sales price.
Well, that makes sense. Thanks, Jen, for the facts. I won't dwell on sold to list price ratio, but I will add, when we're hovering at 97 plus or minus percent, that's a good place for us to be. Sellers, that means you're getting almost darn near exactly what you were asking for. And sellers, it means the market is holding relatively steady. What I'm going to be very interested in seeing is next month where exactly we are, being that prices are starting to decrease and inventory is increasing. Traditionally, that's going to alter the sold to list price ratio. Before I move on to the next statistic, I wanted to address a question that I'm asked all the time. Is now a good time to buy and or sell? Look, the only way I can address this is from my heart. Do I know real estate? Yes. And I say this humbly. I've probably thrown away more awards than most agents will ever achieve in their lives, and that's no disrespect to any agent. This is a very competitive business. It's a big decision for most people, buying and or selling. But the way I go about life is to treat everybody the way they should be treated or how I want to be treated. And I don't want to, again, just keep babbling on. Of course, by now you can tell I have no problem talking. But the thing is this. It's not one size fits all. Right now, it is a good time for buyers to get out there and look at properties, talk to your lenders, and see where you are, again, buying power-wise. And sellers, if you don't have to sell, don't. If you want to sell, do it. Life changes in a heartbeat, and life is short, so you want to do what makes you and or your family happy. Profits are very important. Money is good. I think Forrest Gump says when you have it, it's one less thing to worry about. Don't quote me, but you can look it up. Correct me in the comments if you want. But here's the thing. When it comes to real estate, purchasing a property or selling a property, it's a big deal. It's a high ticket item. And you want to make sure you make the right moves, pardon the pun. So with all the facts and figures, there they are. Numbers don't lie. 2 plus 2 is always going to be 4. But the thing is, when you turn to a professional in any field, be it your doctor, lawyer, real estate CPA, whatever it might be, you want to make sure that you're getting, obviously, the facts and figures, but you want to make sure that whatever the results of those facts and figures are work for your lifestyle. If now is a good time to buy, maybe you're moving here from somewhere else, then let's see what's going on. Maybe renting's the way to go for a little while to make sure you know that you want to live in this area or that area, or that you even like the Valley of the Sun. Perhaps it's not for you. Then again, maybe it's somewhere that you really wanted to explore, but you weren't sure that you were going to spend the rest of your days there. So you start off with a perhaps smaller property that you can utilize that as an investment property should you not want to stay here. Or maybe it's time to escape from the snow like I did from upstate New York, or my wife did from Chicago, and find Arizona's sunshine and the heat is exactly what you want. Again, I'm going to talk and talk and talk because I love what I do and I love taking care of people. And sometimes I just don't have these talks with you because I'm too busy focusing on the numbers. And I just wanted to say, in this video that I love real estate and I love helping people. And that's not a sales thing. It's just what I love. So if you have questions, let's reach out. We'll talk and one-on-one to see if it's the right move for you buying and or selling. We have to formulate the game plan that's custom fit for you. We'll use the numbers for or to your advantage, but again, it's not one size fits all. And okay, that's pretty much it. We'll go back to me talking about numbers, and they don't lie, but really what you need is to make sure that the game plan for you is the right one. And it's a great time for buyers to shop, and sellers, it's not a bad time to put your houses on the market or be selling your properties. You just have to make sure that you understand competition right now is fierce. So you have to be that shiny nickel that somebody wants to pick up and pay for. I think that makes sense.
Let's dive into monthly supply of inventory. In April, there were 3.8. In the previous month was 4.1. And last year, this time was 2.9.
The old month supply of inventory. In every video, I know that you've heard me say a healthy inventory is somewhere between 2 months low, 4 months high, mean average 3 months. That's not going to change because that's what I know to be true. Here's the thing. As you see inventory piling up and you see prices decreasing, it's definitely advantage buyer. But hang on, seller, I'm going to give you a tip that will help you. And potential sellers, this actually is more to your advantage now because you haven't actually put your home on the market. But it's going to work well either way, potential sellers or sellers. Do yourself a favor, get a home inspection now so you can address that honey-do list that maybe you should have done over the years, but now you can do it before a buyer actually calls it out via the home inspection. It's going to give you peace of mind that many of these little things, well, maybe big things or both, are addressed prior. And that will save you a lot of time and money and probably stress when an offer comes in and an inspection is done and the buyers again ask for certain things to be addressed. You already are up front, fix them, and can show what was needed and what wasn't needed. But maybe, and this is the whole point to this tip, if in fact you address these issues prior to a home inspector going in, they're not going to find any of these issues because you already fixed them, making your house in a better position than perhaps another's who will have to make these repairs. And sometimes buyers get a little nervous when they see a list of what might need to be addressed issue-wise. And sometimes it's nothing more than a loose handle or a light fixture that's not exactly dialed in correctly or a fence that needs to be fixed. I think you get the idea. If you can address some of these issues before the house goes on the market, or if your house is on the market before an offer comes in and a home inspector for the buyer finds these issues, you're going to be ahead of the game. And that's what you asked for, to be ahead of the game, ahead of the competition. So buyers go with your property and call that house their home.
Listing success rate. In April, it was 71.3%. The previous month was 75.2%. And last year, this time, it was 76.3%. And basically what that means is about 29% of the homes are not selling.
With the listing success rate still being a shy over 70, I'm okay with that. When we see markets where it's 60s or 50s, that's when we listing agents have to have a pretty serious talk. Well, I guess all talks are serious, but we have to have a man to man, woman to woman, person to person. Lord, I don't want to get myself in trouble here. We just have to have a good talk with the potential sellers, letting them know that the chance of success right now is 50%. That doesn't mean the next door neighbor's house is going to sell and yours isn't. It just means we really got to have that house in showroom ready condition. Again, I'm referring to a car being washed and waxed, armor's on the tires, smells brand new inside. That's what the houses have to be when the listing success rate starts dipping below 60, 50, 40. Holy cow, 40. I don't want to even think about those markets again. Anyways, babbling on I go. But it's important that you understand exactly what I'm talking about. And when the listing success rate is still 70%, well, I get it. 3 out of 10 aren't selling. 7 out of 10 are. I like those odds. Leave me a comment. Tell me what you think is going to happen in 2025.
Last but not least, average days on market. In April, it was 76. The previous month, it was 78. And last year, it was the same, 78 days on market.
Jen's giving us the days on market statistics and using the old last but not least line. I thought that was mine. Then again, I don't own the words, and I certainly don't want to step on the boss's toes. So if she wants to say last but not least, well, it's definitely the last statistic we're going to go over. I'm not sure it's the least. I love days on market. Kind of gives us an idea of how long properties will take to go under contract. I don't always bet the farm on that number because sometimes it's property specific. Some properties and locations are just going to move quicker and some are just going to take a little longer. But I guess that's why they call it the average days on market. However, when you're thinking about selling your property, or if you're selling your property, you definitely want to have an idea of what the average days on market is so you can plan properly. And again, I know I said it earlier, but if you follow the 3 Ps, price, product, and promotion, and everything is in line, then you should be able to use the average days on market for a guide of what's going to happen when we put that Mr. Rogers Homes for Sale sign in your front yard. If you like this video, make sure you check out this one. I'll see you over there. Until next time, take care. God bless America. I'll talk to you soon.